I'm Tom Greider, and I'll be representing Group 4, Mobile Penworks today, in today's Pecha Kucha contest. In the presentation today, I'll be giving you a brief overview of what the group has been up to this semester, and at the end of the presentation, we'll have a little fun. So let's get started. Okay, let's start with a brief history of resumes and portfolios. The origins of the words resume and portfolio can be traced back to the early 17 and 1800s, to the French, Italian, and Latin languages. This can tell us that the traditional form of resumes have been around for at least 200 to 300 years, but unwritten forms of resumes and portfolios have been around much longer. Say you live in the 17th century and you want to have a good quality chair made. How would you choose the best carpenter? First, you would take a look at some of his previous work, his physical portfolio, or you would ask him others about the quality of his work, his physical resume. Based on this information, you decide whether or not to hire him. Not much has changed today when you're trying to pick a good employee. We follow a similar process. First, you look at the person's portfolio to see examples of their work, and then you look at their resume to see examples of past work experience. The only change is now it's mostly on paper. So you're wondering, if it's worked this long, then why change it? We're not actually really proposing much of a change. We're actually proposing more of an addition to the current traditional methods. We wanted to see, with the aid of new technology such as smartphones and mobile applications, if we could tailor fit the process for more serendipitous encounters with potential employers at any time. Technology can be really great. It's kind of like magic. You don't quite really know how it works, and if it breaks, you have to buy a new one. But for all of technology's benefits and abilities, it does have some drawbacks for use in serendipitous encounters with potential employers. Some of the drawbacks of new technology is the screen size on mobile phones makes it hard to see some of the information, and also with social media applications such as LinkedIn and Facebook. They are not well tailored for serendipitous encounters with potential employers and require a constant internet connection to work properly. This can be a major drawback in areas without 3G or Wi-Fi connection. With our application, Quick Pitch, you can easily access your resume and portfolio information regardless of internet or not. Quick Pitch allows you to casually show your resume and portfolio to any potential employer whenever and wherever you bump into them. This chart is broken down into smartphone usage and operating system. The platforms that we chose to develop for were iOS and Windows Phone 7 OS. As you can see, the iOS takes up a good portion of the chart, about 27%. Unfortunately, due to time, we had to delimit other prominent platforms such as Android. So who are the receivers of our product? Based on this chart broken down by smartphone usage and age, our receiver seems to be about 25 to 34 years old, which is the perfect age because they'll most likely be looking for a job. But if we take a quick look at the communication model, we can see if that is true. Here is the communication model. If you take a look at it, it can help you identify the source of your message, how the message is encoded and decoded, the message channel, the receiver of your message, and most importantly, the feedback and interference of your message, which can be very valuable information for you to use. So who is the real receiver? First, we initially thought that the user was the receiver, but after looking at the communication model, we realized that it was actually the potential employer who will be trying to decode the message that is channeled by the application. You also must keep in mind that the potential employer makes up a smaller percentage of smartphone users. This means that we needed to make sure that when the receiver decodes the message, it is decoded properly. Some of the steps that we have taken to ensure that this happens is to make the application easy to navigate and to have a consistent format from device to device to help reduce confusion among the receiver. This chart is a chunk of code from our application, and what it demonstrates is that the same application can work for the iPhone, the iPod, and the iPad. There is only one app needed instead of 3 different applications for each individual device. This allows for an easy download and without confusion of compatibility for each of the devices. After the first product review, we took some suggestions and we made some changes to Quick Pitch, along with some other changes that we didn't have time for the first product review. Keep in mind that most of the changes are to the code and are hard to see visually, but also that the product is still under development and is not yet ready for the application store. As you can see on the left, this is how the main screen looked at the first product review. And on the right is the updated version. We made changes to the resume and portfolio pictures from papers on a desk to get in to a portfolio case in a folder to help give the app an more overall professional look and feel. Also, we changed the profile picture for testing purposes. We also made several changes to the image viewing. On the left, you can see how it looked in the first product review, and on the right is the updated one. At the first product review, you'd tap the image and it'd fill the screen. And to close, you would hit the red X in the corner. Now the image still fills the screen, but you can pinch zoom as long as view in panorama, and you tap the close button to close. Here is our website that goes along with the application. Here the user can create a profile, upload images to the portfolio section, and format the resume section. As of now, the website is fully functional and can push the user's information to the app and store it. It's not very pretty right now, but we wanted to focus on functionality first. Also, the application has a login screen that allows the user to log in with the credentials created on the website and allows the user to log in and view their specific information on any device that has the application installed on it. This also provides security for personal information. And now that we're kind of done with some of the boring stuff, let's have a little fun.
Is it true that you can leap over a chair from a standing position?
It depends on the size of the chair. I'll cheat a little bit.
Yes!